Imagine the fastest bird on land sprinting into the fast lane on a three-lane busy highway in Thailand. You don't have to imagine because this happened on 7th of April. A 6-month male ostrich named B1, startled by sudden loud noise, escaped out of his enclosure at a Pattaya Animal Cafe and exhibited a fright and flight response at nearly 60 km per hour amidst Honda Civics and trucks. While you are processing that, travel 2000 miles to the heart of India, where an African cheetah just finished a 500-kilometer cross-state hike on April. Not sure whether this April was the cruelest month or not, as Eliot ironically put, but it was strange indeed. Two scenes, one shared reality: the absolute limits of terrestrial speed, and Africa's fastest two broke fences in Asia. Yes, curiously, both are native to the grasslands and savannas of sub-Saharan and southern Africa. Another interesting point that came to my mind is ostriches were actually present in India about 25,000 years ago. Molecular evidence from fossilized eggshells in Rajasthan and Gujarat shows a 92% genetic match to North African ostriches. So if they were present even now, who knows, maybe Kepitu would have met with the likes of B1 along the way. But bottom line, this bipedal powerhouse and this quadrupedal bullet refuse to stay put. Unlike B1's panic, Kepitu's journey to Ranthambore Tiger Reserve was a natural dispersal, driven by the biological need to establish an independent range. He covered roughly 500 kilometers of complex Indian mosaic of landscapes. He was tranquilized, brought back to Kuno, but the serial wanderer set out again within few weeks, and this time traveled roughly 150 kilometers to enter Ranthambore's tiger territory. His journey required crossing significant physical obstacles, including the Chambal and Kalisin rivers. B1 couldn't go back to the wild, but returned to the owner of that animal cafe after 15-kilometer sprint, causing significant local traffic disruptions, while Kepitu made history by creating a rare modern landscape where tiger, Indian leopard, and African cheetah are now coexisting in the same zone of Ranthambore. But dispersal comes with a shadow. By crossing the Chambal, Kepitu didn't just find a new home, he walked into the battlefield. Kepitu is now inside a fortress with heavyweights like T-108. What will happen? To survive, Kepitu must use the ostrich strategy, vigilance. Just as B1 uses his height to spot threats from a distance, Kepitu must rely on Ranthambore's high ridges to monitor tiger movements. In predator ecology, especially in a guild system like Ranthambore, it's about niche overlap and risk landscapes. A cheetah operates in a different evolutionary lane: cursorial hunting, open country adaptation, low confrontation strategy. Speed is their main weapon in open high visibility prey fields, which they cannot optimize in a landscape with a scrub forest system like this, which is ecologically suited for ambush predators like tigers. In Ranthambore, Capitu stepped in a hyper-dominant fillet guild where spatial control is already monopolized. So the question isn't will Capitu cope emotionally or physically, but how does a specialist predator negotiate space in a system structured around a stronger interference competitor? That's ecology, not sentiment. That's why forest departments of both national parks, Ranthambore and Kuno, are continuously and intensively monitoring him. A first generation Indian born African cheetah has no evolutionary memory of tiger, and in a tiger dominated landscape, even strong individuals operate under asymmetric pressure. That's how apex interference systems work. Tigers don't just compete for prey, they actively exclude other large carnivores from core areas. That means a cheetah isn't operating in a neutral open system, it's operating in a managed risk landscape of apex suppression. While I explored the predatory interaction in detail and Capitu's journey in my documentary, and research for the part 2 is underway, whether it's a bird weaving through the Thai traffic or a cat crossing state lines in India, these animals remind us that nature doesn't recognize our fences or our highways. The wild will always find a way to run, sometimes just for its life, other times for its legacy. Whether it's B1 dodging Thai traffic or Capitu dodging a 400-pound tigress, the lesson is the same. When you break the fences, you accept the risks. Most likely, you will be monitored and returned to square one, like it happened with B1. Independence has its own price, but what a thrill when you are at it.